Making a stop based on a reasonable suspicion. Let's cover that today. Boom! Thank you for rejoining me today as we continue our talk and our exploration about Terry stops and reasonable suspicion. What I want to talk about today is making a vehicle stop based on reasonable suspicion. Now, we know that there are two authorities. An officer has to have at least reasonable suspicion before stopping a vehicle and its occupants. So what's the difference between reasonable suspicion stop and one based on probable cause? Well, let me rightly divide it for you as simply as I can. If you make a stop on probable cause, you saw a violation prior to stopping. If you made a stop on reasonable suspicion, you did not observe a violation prior to stopping. And that's the one we're going to explore, is that reasonable suspicion-based stop. So how can you make a lawful traffic stop based on reasonable suspicion? In other words, you didn't see a violation prior to stopping. All right, so what I'm going to give you is this. If that information prior to stopping has come to you from another officer about a particular crime or crimes, you can't just say the person appeared suspicious. That doesn't cut it. Check out U.S. versus Montsevay and U.S. versus Slocum. You have to have a suspicion of crime that you can identify, all right, that has, is, or about to occur. Now, if that source of that potential crime is coming in from another officer, that officer is automatically deemed reliable. All you have to do is corroborate the vehicle and or suspect description, and you can make the stop on a reasonable suspicion without seeing a violation, without getting a promise of a signed complaint. All right, let's not do that. That's putting lives at risk. So there isn't any kind of issue with one officer passing information to another, whether it's reasonable suspicion or probable cause. That's called the collective knowledge doctrine. But what if a citizen, an average citizen, is reporting some sort of potential crime that has, is, or about to occur? Can you make a stop then without observing a violation on that vehicle and its occupants? It depends on the reliability of the citizen. All right, so there are two ways that a citizen informant can be deemed reliable under the citizen informant doctrine. Number one way, if they call 911, that citizen is automatically deemed reliable, even if they call 911 anonymously. That's Navarrete versus California. So any call from a citizen reporting potential crime that comes into a 911 call center, that citizen is deemed reliable. The second way that a citizen can be deemed reliable is if they call in on some other non-911 number or in person. They provide you with their contact information. Can be name and or telephone number. That's usually what we're looking for. Because now you have the opportunity to go back and locate this reporting party who was a citizen to determine whether or not they filed a false report. So once you determine reliability of your informant, again, an officer providing you information, automatically deemed reliable. Collective knowledge doctrine. Citizen informant doctrine, if they call in on 911, even anonymously, or, not and, or when they call in on a non-911 number, they provide their name and or phone number. Now they're deemed reliable either one of those ways. You then simply have to make the stop after corroborating the vehicle description and or suspect description. You do not have to follow the vehicle hoping to see a violation prior to the stop, because now that turns it into a PC-based stop and you're putting lives at risk. I'm Don McCrae with Premier Police Training, and I want to thank you for joining me today. Come join me next time as we continue exploring reasonable suspicion and Terry v. Ohio. Remember, the best insurance policy is proper training. If you like this video, let me know by giving it a like below. Subscribe and share with others in your department. I'll see you in the next video.